everyone. Welcome back to the Talkoffame podcast. I am Kylie and today we're welcoming back Kayden Tokarski. Kayden, an acclaimed actor from Orange County, California, has garnered multiple awards for exceptional acting process. She is recognized for portraying a young Julia Roberts in an Emmy, Critics' Choice, and Golden Globes nominated STARZ TV series Gaslit. Kayden's notable filmography includes Love's First Lane on Peacock, an upcoming thriller series, Mama Bear, Calculated Obsession, and 80s sci-fi Roswell Delirium, alongside Anthony Michael Hall and Reginald VelJohnson, as well as the mystical movie Curse on Vandor and its sequel with Dee Wallace. Welcome back to the podcast, Kayden. How's everything been going for you? It's literally been so long since we last talked.
It has been long. Thank you so much, Kylie, for having me. It's truly such an honor to be here.
Thank you. So, what have you been up to lately? You seem to be up with so much, which is crazy. You seem every time I see you on social media, you seem to be very busy. But
Oh,
what have you been up to?
I'm just, first of all, I'm super grateful. I've been working. I recently actually just wrapped a coming of age project that I'm so proud of and I'm so excited to share about when I can. They are still deep into post-production, but I have gotten a few clips that I got to watch, so I was very excited to watch those. And then I have a few movies coming out this year that I don't have release dates yet for. But if you guys want to see them, please stay tuned. Follow me on Instagram for all the updates.
No, definitely. I see all the things you're posting, and it seems like there's so many release dates coming out, which is crazy, but also very exciting to watch new stubs. I know a lot of Dar fans are out there right now that are dying for different things, which is crazy because they see me in a lot of Darman videos. So, we gotta love Darman. That's all we have to say.
Yes, I absolutely love Darman, and I'm so grateful to be a part of the Darman fam because his channel is just so wholesome. And, they really do teach great lessons to kids. And I think that's such an important thing, especially, in today's society. But yeah, I think that's like going back to what you're saying about the films coming out and no release dates yet. I think that's like the hardest part about making a movie is waiting for, sometimes it could take a year, sometimes it could take 2 years. I've actually had a movie that has taken 3 years.
Oh,
It just,
gosh.
it really, there's so much that goes into making a movie, and post-production can be long. And it also depends, when they want to release it. So it's the best
Mhm.
time.
I totally understand that. Honestly, that would be my worst part about being an actor is you have to wait. And for me, I'm not a patient person. So knowing me, I probably wouldn't last. I'd be asking what is it coming out every a couple months? You
Yeah,
know?
I'm not patient either, but I think that's something that this industry has taught me that I kind of like have to be patient.
Yeah, because if you're not patient, then what are you gonna do with yourself when you're waiting for the
Exactly.
project to come out? To go on to some your films are coming out, how do you prepare for the challenging roles that you have done, such as Mama Bear, Calculated Obsession, and Roswell Delirium?
Well, Mama Bear and Calculated Obsession, I those are both thrillers, and I play, well, my characters are very different, but there's a lot of things, a lot of traumatic events that happen for both characters, and there's a lot of challenges that my characters have to overcome. So I think for those two specifically, I'm a very method actor when it comes to very emotional scenes. And so being method really helped me stay in it and also connect to the character and feel everything that the character was feeling. And also, I love to do a lot of prep. So, like, I love to journal, I love to write diary entries as the character in first person, just kind of writing like a backstory of their lives, like where were they 5 years ago? Where will they be in 5 years in the future?
Mhm.
And that really helps me, connect as well with the character. And, doing so much prep helps when I get on set because I have all this prep ready to go. And then I could just let it go on set and take direction. And whatever comes out, comes out. And then for Roswell Delirium, I play Roswell Delirium is an 80s sci-fi, and I play a mean girl. So my prep was definitely a little different than a more emotional role. I because it's based in the 80s, I watched a ton of 80s films like Breakfast Club, just to kind of like feel that era. And understand like how it was. It was almost like by studying it and also filming Roswell Delirium. Um, it was like I went back to the 80s in a way. And it was
Yeah.
very cool to listen to a lot of the music for my prep. I had like a playlist for my character. And I also watched Mean Girls because I really wanted to
Ooh.
feel that inner Regina George. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of like my prep.
Yeah, like I honestly love Mean Girls. That is such a great movie to watch if you're playing a mean
Yeah.
girl in a movie. Like who hasn't seen Mean Girls? So like it's such an iconic film.
It totally is. And Rachel McAdams is, is amazing in the film. And, my character Becky in Roswell Delirium is very different from Regina George, but they have a lot of similarities
Mm.
and a pretty similar mindset. So I kind of just wanted to watch like how she, moved through time and space and just kind of just evaluate that and maybe take some of hers and bring it into my performance.
I love that. Like I also love that you brought like watch 80s music and movies. Like that's the era that I actually love is something that I actually watch 80s movies, songs literally all the time to the point where it's an obsession. Like I have no
Yes.
control. But do you have a favorite 80s movie?
Ooh, oh my gosh, that's really hard. Well, I'm still I have to finish this. The Goonies is really
Oh,
good.
that's a
I
good
really
one.
like The Goonies. And I love Breakfast Club. And Anthony Michael Hall is in Roswell Delirium, and he's also one of our producers. And he's amazing. So it's kind of funny, like watching Breakfast Club and then working with him. I was like, wow, that's so cool. And my parents, they helped with all the 80 movies recommendations because that was their time.
Yeah.
So
I actually watched the Goonies a ton when I was growing up to the point where
really,
like it was bad. Like I used to watch it with my brother and my babysitter at the time, like literally all the time. And I haven't seen it in years until it was on the TV a couple weeks ago when I was scrolling through the channels. I'm like, when was the last time I actually watched this movie? Because I used to watch it all the time, and once I saw it on the TV, I was like, I'm keeping this movie on. Like this has been a hot minute, but I never personally seen The Breakfast Club, which is so bad. But I
you
seen
have to.
clips of it. I seen clips of it, and I'm just like, what am I missing? Because my friend's mother loves the Breakfast Club. And a couple of months ago, I went to this convention down in Pittsburgh. It was maybe no, I'm 5 hours from Pittsburgh. I'm from Scranton, Pennsylvania, so it's not too far from where I am right now. But I went there, and most of the Club cast was there. I didn't meet any of them though, but I saw most of them. I remember I saw what was her name? It was the
Molly
girl
Ringwald
that's in yes, it's her,
from
Molly
16
Ringwald.
Candles.
Yeah, I saw her. I
Yes.
was literally in line to meet her because I was like, I have to. She was in some shows and things I watch, like Stranger Things and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have to meet her. And basically, once I almost got up to the front, she had to go to a photo op and never met her. So I was like,
Oh, that's too bad.
but it would have been so nice to meet Molly Ringwald, though. She's like such a terrific actor.
Yeah, she's great. I mean, one thing like I just hope that like that's like one concern, because some celebrities are super nice
Mhm.
and some are not. So like I would hope that like if you were to meet her that she'd be really nice.
Yeah, like I heard so many good things about her though, that she's really nice and kind. But who knows? People have different experiences, but I'm sure she's just overall good human though.
Absolutely. And some people have bad days too. So you
Yeah,
also can't judge it there as well. Yeah.
true. And I forgot to ask you, like, what do you have
Yes.
any 80s artists or music that you're listening to now?
Oh, well, it was actually funny in Roswell Lyrium. I actually do like his songs, but in Roswell I rip on him. Um, Def Leppard. I like Def Leppard.
Ooh, he's a
I
good
really
one.
like Def Leppard. Prince was such an icon.
Hmm.
Michael Jackson, of course. I
That's
mean,
honestly my personal favorite artist too.
yeah, Michael Jackson's probably my favorite. It's funny because in Roswell, I'm like, Prince is what's happening. And then I'm like, no one listens to Def Leppard anymore or hair bands. So yeah, no, it was really cool. I just love like 80s music is really good.
It
Like I wish
is.
that
Is.
it's really cool. Like there are a couple like pop artists now that like are starting, I feel like, to bring back a little of that 80s into their music. And I'm like, that's cool. I was like, I want to see more of that.
Yeah, like I feel like nowadays in 2024, people are bringing the 80s back, which I love because 80s
Yeah,
music is honestly one of the best decades of music. Like I really wish we got to live in that decade just to hear the music.
me too. Honestly, I really wish. I mean, I kind of went back to the 70s this weekend because I went roller skating at a roller rink.
Oh, I saw
And
that.
yeah, it was my first time. I had never like I've roller skated before, like during quarantine. That was like a big hobby of mine, but I
Mhm.
had never done it like at a rink. And it was
Oh,
so cool. Like
really?
they had the music blasting, they had a lot of like Backstreet Boy songs. I was
Oh,
like, oh yeah, Backstreet's back, all right, you know?
yeah, Backstreet Boys is a good band.
Yeah.
They're so good. But the obsession I'm currently having right now from the 80s, like music, is Bon Jovi. I'm literally having such an obsession with Bon Jovi right now.
Well, I mean, I think he's really popular because Millie Bobby Brown just got
Oh,
married to Jake
true.
Bon Jovi.
Yeah, but she
That could be
married
too.
his son a couple weeks ago or something.
Yes.
And
You
I
know, but
saw
Bon Jovi, Bon
Yeah,
Jovi's
and I
great.
saw an article yesterday actually that after like their honeymoon or whatever, John Bon
Mhm.
Jovi or Bon Jovi per se went to Italy with Millie Bobby Brown and his son. I'm like, yeah, I guess he
Wow.
just clashed with them. I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go. I'm like,
Yes. Oh,
imagine running into them in Italy.
oh my gosh, I would die. I'd be like, oh my gosh. I'd
I'd be
like
like,
probably
nothing's gonna top this. Like, nothing's
yeah.
gonna top. And plus, like, Bon Jovi is so handsome. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like,
Both of them are.
yeah, they are. Like, did you see the new documentary?
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's so good. I'm currently on the second episode right now.
Ooh,
It's
write
so
that
good.
down.
It's currently on Hulu right now. Oh
Oh,
my
I don't have
gosh, I'm obsessed.
Hulu. Oh, that's probably why. Dang it. I do love documentaries though.
I'm
They're
the same
very
way. Like I'm a big documentary person, especially if it's music, I'll definitely watch it.
oh
I feel
yeah,
like most of the things I watch on my free time is documentaries.
love that. That's amazing.
To go back to your movies, but what can you really tell us about your upcoming movies like Mama Bear, Calculated Obsession, and Roswell Delirium?
Well, I can't say too much because of NDAs and they're not out yet.
Mhm.
But Calculated Obsession, I play a mathematician. So from, kind of even going back to prep work, I learned calculus for the role.
Mm,
And that was definitely really hard.
I
But
can
at least
imagine.
it was really hard. But our amazing director, Ryan J. Francis, he's incredible. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of the project. Pretty much, I mean, I don't want to, it's really hard because I like never want to spoil these things. But my aunt dies in the film and we were super close. Like we were both mathematicians. Like she was my best friend. And everyone believes that she died from a heart attack, but I believe that there's more. So it's like my investigation of trying to figure out who killed my aunt.
Oh,
Um, and so I'm really excited to share that one. That one was so much fun to film. We filmed that one in February in Oklahoma. So
oh,
yeah, I got to
never been, but
experience.
I heard there's a lot of acting scene going on there in
It's
Oklahoma.
beautiful. It is so gorgeous. And it was really funny because I like the weather is very weird there. And I was definitely because California is usually pretty much the same. I feel like, I mean, we do get rain in the winter, but it doesn't get like super duper hot and it doesn't get like super cold.
Yeah.
But it was funny because one of the days we were there, it was like sunny the whole day. And then at night, it was snow. It
Oh,
just randomly started snowing. And then the next day, it melted. It was so weird, but I was manifesting while I was there. I was like, please let there be snow because I was like, I want to experience snow in another
yeah.
state. And so
Because
that
in
was really
California,
cool.
you really don't get snow unless you go to like the top of the state or something.
Exactly. Yeah. We can go to like Big Bear or like Mammoth, but I mean, that's really about it. But that was very cool.
Mm,
And then Mama Bear, oh, I can't say anything about that one. That one would be, I feel like I would spoil it, and I do not want to do that.
mm,
Um, and then Roswell Delirium, that one is again an 80s sci-fi. And I also don't want to say too much, but the cast and crew of all of these projects are just incredible. And each role that I've played just has such a special place in my heart. I'm truly so grateful.
I'm sure. And of course, with to go back with the weather, like I'm in Pennsylvania, so all the weather is insane. I'm sure I would speak
Yes.
for most Pennsylvanians out there to say that Pennsylvania weather is not promising. Like every day is
Yes.
different. Like one day it might be 80 degrees sunny, 90 degrees sunny. The next day it's like 60 degrees
That's great.
snowing or raining. Last week when I was down in Wildwood, New Jersey for vacation and a music festival, all week while we were gone, it was 90 degrees sunny, all 90s the whole week while I was in
Wow.
Wildwood. And it was like 80 degrees, 70 degrees when I was in Wildwood. Then when
Mhm.
I came back home, it was in the 70s. I'm like, bro, of course you have this little heat wave when I'm gone
Yeah,
and you're just having a little mild summer when I come back. Like, what is happening?
that's how it always is, though. But Pennsylvania is so beautiful. I haven't been there in years. My cousins actually live in, I think they live in Pittsburgh. I think they live just right outside of Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
And
Pittsburgh is
I
like
went
on
when I
the
was,
other side of state from where I am. So I'm like in the Philly area. So I'm like 5 hours, 4 hours outside of Pittsburgh.
okay, that's also beautiful. I don't know where exactly because I was so young. I was like 6 when I went because it was for my cousin's wedding. And now they have 3 kids and I still haven't met their kids and I'm like, I want to meet your kids. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but Pennsylvania is gorgeous. I mean, it's really hard with the weather these days, I feel like, because it is really so unpredictable.
I know. And plus, like with Pennsylvania, every day is like you don't expect what happens. Because one day it might be sunny all day. The forecast says this sunny, then out of nowhere it starts downpouring. In the
Yeah.
forecast doesn't say that. So it's like you never know what's happening. With the East Coast, you can get anything, like literally anything possible. That's kind of why I wish I would live in California. Is because it's really sunny and good weather all the time. Even though it gets a lot of rain, I can admit it does get a lot of
Yeah.
rain. That I low-key wish I would just want that weather or Florida or somewhere else warm. Like it's something that, I wish I can have just one season rather than four different seasons throughout the year.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, I feel like every state has their ups and downs, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. But to go to your recognition awards, you have received literally tons of awards over the last couple of years for acting. But how does it feel to receive different recognitions and awards for your acting process?
Well, first of all, I'm so honored. And, the fact that someone would take the time to watch my work and recognize it I'm just so grateful. It's crazy and it's so hard to wrap my head around because
Mhm.
I just would have it's just such a dream come true. And I'm just I feel so lucky.
It really is. And I forgot to tell you this like maybe a couple weeks ago. But lately, all your Dara Man videos have been popping up on my For You page on TikTok. I'm dead
Oh my
serious.
gosh, really?
Yeah, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I know this chick." Like, it's literally been popping up so much lately that I'm, like, sitting there watching them, then going into the series to go for part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and I'm like, "Bro, what is going on?" Like, everyone that I interviewed or know shows up on my For You page, like, are you kidding? Like, it's like with Darman because it's so popular, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I love Darman," even though I don't see many of Darman videos often, but when I do, it's literally so good.
Yeah, I mean, he has so many videos coming out, so I feel you. It's so hard to keep track. But yeah, I mean, he's doing so great. And I mean, 22 million subscribers on YouTube is insane.
Oh,
It's just
wow.
like, yeah, it's his audience is huge.
It's
And I'm
crazy.
just, yeah.
I kinda wish I had an audience for crying out loud. Like, that's crazy, like, to have that many subscribers. Like, I know my little cousin watches Darman, so, they
Yeah,
have
my little brother does.
really? Does he only
Yeah,
listen to, projects that you're in or just anything?
my brother's like on and off. I feel like he watches most of my projects, but he mostly watches Darman because like he just loves Darman. But
Mhm.
it's funny because like when Darman first came out, I I was like, oh, I would love to be on Darman. Like this would be so cool. And then 3 years later, I'm on Darman. It was like this whole manifesting thing.
Yeah.
And it was so cool. So I'm so blessed to be a part
Yeah, you
of the
say
Darman fam again.
things and you just don't expect them to come up true, you know? It's just wild how
Absolutely.
manifestation works.
I believe in manifesting, just like to all those who are watching, you
Me
have
too.
to manifest because seriously, if you have a dream, you go for it, you manifest, and honestly, I fully believe that it will come true. I have a vision board actually. Hold on, I can turn my camera. That's my vision board right
Oh
there.
my gosh, I love
And
it. Yeah, I
yes,
honestly believe in manifestation as well. Like, I'm really like a firm believer in that, and that's something that I literally do every single day is manifest about something, even though it might not happen immediately, which most of the time it doesn't. But when it does, it's wild.
absolutely. It is really wild. And it was funny because this like in December I had said to my mom, like, I just have this like weird feeling that I'm going to Oklahoma this year. And then 2 months later, I went to Oklahoma to film a movie. And I was like, what? It was just, it's so insane. Like you say it and you manifest it and then it comes true. Like it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to come true right away. But if you kind of keep that positive mindset, which can obviously be very hard sometimes to do that.
Yeah.
Um, but if you keep that, then dreams do come true. So,
It does. It does. But you have met so many amazing actors and actresses, but do you have a personal favorite?
oh, that's really hard. Okay, for as far as like actors that I've met, not necessarily worked with, I have to say my celebrity crush is always Austin Butler.
I
As
knew
you
you
know,
were
you
literally
know
going to
that.
say that. Oh my God. I knew you were going to
You
say
knew
Austin
that.
Butler.
Well, I met him because I went to a Q&A at Warner Bros. For Elvis. So I watched the film. It was amazing. He was
It's
so
one of my
incredible.
favorite movies, actually.
Oh
I
yeah,
haven't seen a movie in a while. I have to see it, but it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
so good. And then he came out and talked for like 20 minutes. And then I ran down to the stage. Everyone ran down to go get pictures with him. And I was talking to him for just a minute. And he was just so gracious and so humble and so grateful. And I was like, this is a star. And this is somebody, I always, I admire actors for their talent, but I admire them more so, or and any celebrity for being humble
I'm the
because I
same
feel like
way.
that's how you should always be. Like
Mhm.
it really upsets me when I meet somebody and I think that they're gonna be the nicest person in the world and they're not, and they're just
Mhm.
mean and they have a huge ego.
Yeah.
I just I don't think that's okay.
Like, I'm honestly the same way. I feel like a lot of people set high expectations on how people act, and they're just the other way around. You know, that's
Yeah,
something that I'm dreading. I never personally had that experience before, so I can't really say like about that. But I'm just praying that no one has to go through that. You know, especially if it's like your idol that you've been looking up to and been dying to be for years.
ah,
That is honestly like the worst feeling I can imagine. That is something that I pray to God that I don't have to deal with or anyone.
absolutely. And also like Austin Butler being like my celebrity crush, like I mean, he was like like I thought he was gonna be like really, really nice, but he was like better than I even expected. Like he
Yeah.
was so sweet and so down to earth. And
I
he was just
honestly,
he doesn't also,
honestly,
sorry to interrupt, he also doesn't break eye contact with you.
really?
Like he really,
Oh my
he
God.
doesn't.
Like,
Like
honestly,
it's like
I've been
you're the
dying
only
to
one
meet
that
Austin.
matters.
Like, Austin is honestly one of my celebrity crushes too. Like
I
he's
mean,
so cute. Like, honestly, I've been
he
dying to
is.
meet him. But he literally seems like he's like doesn't make eye contact, like he doesn't break it or anything. Like he seems like he actually cares. Like
It
for
is true. He makes you feel like you're like the only one in the room, which is like such a nice feeling because it's
it
like,
is.
yeah, absolutely. But
Now
as
you
far
make
as
me now you
I
make me
sorry,
want
I
to
just
die
went
and meet Austin. Now, yeah, I'm really
I'm manifesting for you.
thank
Well, sorry, going back to the question, that was probably my favorite celebrity that I've met. But as far as worked with, Anthony Michael Hall, probably from Breakfast Club.
you.
He was in again in Roswell Delirium, and he was also one of the producers of the film. And he was so, I remember when I first met him on set, he was so down to earth as well. I mean, I remember that there was a ton of child actors on set, and every time we went back to holding, he would be like, "Great job! I'm so proud of you guys. Are doing so good." And it was such a genuine thing too. Like it just felt so encouraging and so supportive. And I just love that kind of environment where we support each other.
Mhm.
And especially like me being a mean girl and being mean towards a few of the characters, it just felt good to like know that hey, we're all supportive, we're all family, we all love each other. And it just, yeah, it was very, very nice.
That's sweet. Like, I love when your co-stars or people that are head of the project that's actually so sweet and encouraging. There's not a lot of people are like that. Sometimes they just keep it to themselves or something, but it's really nice to see like really him like this encouraging you guys to keep going, even if you're having a tough situation.
Absolutely. And I feel like as an actor, and I feel like as a child actor, many child actors that I know, you know, and this is everybody as well too. It just depends on the person. But, you know, we tend to put a lot of pressure on ourselves. And, sometimes on set, it's very easy to get in your head
So
and to get
true.
frustrated with the scene and like how your performance was. And it just feels so nice to like have somebody like, not that like you need any like self reassurance, but like it's just really nice to have somebody just like there being like, you know what, like I'm really proud of you. It's really really nice, especially as a child actor.
True. But to wrap this up, like, do you have any upcoming projects in the works?
I do, yes. Well, I shot in October The Curse of Vandor with Dee Wallace, and she's amazing. She's from E.T., Cujo, and some incredible iconic films. And we are actually going to be filming the sequel very soon,
Mm.
Curse of Vandor: Revenge of the Sorcerer. And I'm so excited. I just got the script last week and I read it and it was incredible. Curse of Vandor is kind of like both of the movies are like a cross between the Chronicles of Narnia and Stranger Things. And
Ooh.
so very mystical, fantasy, family friendly vibe. And I feel like that's something that we need more of these days of family friendly movies, feel good movies that you just watch them and you're like, I just felt so great after watching that.
Yeah, that's honestly the best feeling because everyone should have a good movie to watch that gives you a good feeling, even if maybe you're having a rough day. There's so many movies out there that give you the ultimate good feeling. And of course, there are many movies to come, of course, to give you good feeling.
Absolutely.
That's the best part about movies is that it gives you a good vibe to watch it really anytime.
Yeah, and I think that's also what drew me to the storyline as well. And same with like Love's Fastlane. That's a rom-com. It's on Peacock, so if you guys want to go check it out, please do. Um, it also very family friendly, very feel good.
Love it. So, that is the end of this episode, which is insane. This honestly went by so quick, which is crazy. I loved having you on again. It's been probably almost a year since we last chatted, which is insane. How has it been a year already? Which is, it's crazy to think
Time
about.
just goes by way too fast.
It does. When life gets busy, you can't remember it's like it's literally just yesterday.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on. It was an honor.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. I hope everyone enjoyed this episode and make sure to go check out our first episode that we filmed. I recommend to learn more about her earlier projects and also more info about meeting Austin Butler, of course. But thank you ever for listening. Make sure to like, subscribe, and review, and stay tuned for next episode. And thank you so much, Kayden, for joining us. And I really appreciate coming on to time again and really
Thank you.
catch up with you.